what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and I'm sure the team next year will be saying, "Okay, let's fire up, boys. Let's go and get these English guys." Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of 8 Ball FM. We've got a special guest co-host with us today, Jay Windross, or Windy as we know him, is joining us as a co-host. Welcome, Windy. Good to have you on board.
Good evening, boys. Good to be here. Thank you.
And we're bringing you on today because we are going to do a full roundup of every event at the World Titles. And you've just been over there on the World Titles with the Australian contingent. And I think that's as part of your role in the ABF. So just quickly tell us, what is that role and what was your kind of job to do whilst you were over the Worlds?
So my role with the ABF is Director of Rules and Umpiring. So I was given an opportunity by the ABF to go over to England early on to attend an international referees organisation referee course as part of my role. We don't have the opportunity anywhere here in Australia to have that sort of level of accreditation. So going over there and getting that done sort of gives me a pretty good level of accreditation here in Australia to sort of hold the role that I do. I'm sure you remember in World Rules, you used to have the D grade and C grade and B grade and A grade in World Rules. There's nothing like that international rules here in Australia. So the IRO, the International Referees Organisation, they've really professional organisation out there that Ultimate Pool use for all their major tournaments, and obviously the IPF use for their worlds too. So there was no better place to go to get accredited, and yeah, and that sort of followed on to then being able to go to Worlds and referee at Worlds.
So you're officially accredited under the IRO, is that what you said?
Yep, correct.
So
Yep.
which makes you eligible. So if Ultimate Pool, if you wanted to go on umpire, you could do an Ultimate Pool event, for example, because you're accredited. Is that what that means?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm part
Yeah.
of the IRO team now. So should
Okay.
they require and I'm in the area, then so be it.
And are you able now to certify like Australian people who want to be certified umpires?
No, I'm not. I'm not an accredited examiner. They've got their own people over there that can do that. Scott Price and Mark Goff, Andrew Sheldon, those sort of guys. Those
But
guys are
you've
at a
gone.
level that can, but I'm at a level now where I can referee at
Is
I've
there
got
a
the
way that we can is there a way that we can actually get someone like that down here to then allow a few people down here to get accredited as well? Like, could you do another course or something, and then now we can go to you or people can go to you and then also have that name down here as well, and it can sort of start a bit of a chain reaction kind of thing down here?
Yeah, good question, Mick. I think that comes through experience. No, when it obviously there were supreme rules before there were international rules, and they obviously had some sort of refereeing skills before international rules came along, and then this organisation came along. So somewhere along the line, someone held a position that said, "Okay, I'm going to start accrediting referees." And I think that it would just come down to experience as a referee. I think I've got quite a bit of experience refereeing over here, but definitely not at the level that they've got over here. I'm doing the course over there. I learn a lot more, which I thought I knew, but definitely learn a lot more. Learned some new things as well, which is definitely going to add to my credibility as a referee. But I can definitely use my expertise to train referees over here, but to prepare them if the opportunity comes to accredit if we get the IRO over here or we can send a
Mm.
group over there, I can definitely train referees to be at a standard where they can easily fly through that. But I wouldn't be able to accredit them at an international level at this point anyway.
Mm.
Whether something down the line with the ABF and that they say, "Yep, we're happy for you to give sort of our level of accreditation here," which gives
It
them.
doesn't stop you from putting a group together of 20 people one night and doing it
Tra-
anyway in a way.
No,
Training them up. Yeah.
yeah. Look, I wouldn't want to sit there and say and accredit them, not without having some sort of approval that I'm at that level to be able to do it. But I can definitely sit down and do a course and train people to be proficient at being
Yeah.
referees at our major events and nationals and things like that. Absolutely.
I presume you'll be the head umpire at the Nationals later this year, right? Because of your role
Yep.
at the ABF. So yeah,
Correct.
that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, thanks for going over and doing that for Australian pool. That's
No,
nice.
no worries. That's the
Uh,
opportunity the ABF for giving us now. So.
And I guess did you get the chance to umpire a whole bunch of games at the World Titles as well?
No, we were more used as roaming referees. So the IRO or it had 6 referees, well, technically 7 referees with Mark Off there as well. So they already had a team there which were dedicated to refereeing the stream tables. So we were more for the outside tables. We refereed some matches that we were requested to. That's pretty much the role, and everyone just went out there. My wrist has never felt like this. The amount of tables I've brushed, about 500 tables, ironed about 500 tables. It was wild. They were brushed and ironed after every match. So yeah, it's that was sort of my role. So again, an experience sort of thing for Ultimate Pool, being the major sponsor and the broadcaster. They've obviously selected the IRO and they've selected their teams.
I saw you comment on Facebook, Windy, about that you got the new cloth that you're going to drop on that table behind you. I presume
just behind me, just there.
How did it hold up? Did you get to play on it? And you just said you brushed and ironed it, those tables 500 times. How did the cloth hold up over 2 weeks of intense play? And
What cloth
what's your
is
take
it?
on it?
It's a napped cloth still. It's not a napless. It's not a worsted cloth, so it's still a napped cloth. I was fortunate enough to go out with Zach Leonard sort of a week before Worlds, and I went out with him and reclothed a couple of Bassin tables with that CPBA cloth, and it's a lot heavier than what I thought it would be. I know Superfine feels really light. That feels a lot heavier, but it plays really, really, really nice. It plays, if anything, it's probably a little bit more slipperier than what the Superfine was and what we're sort of used to, but I think it has a lot more benefits, and it seemed to last really well for such a heavy use over that 2 weeks. And some of those tables weren't reclothed in time, and you wouldn't been able to tell which ones they were. So, and I
Right.
know that there was a comment there, a couple of drag marks from the smart rack, but that's all just visual. It didn't affect the way it played at all.
This is the for anyone watching. This is the blue coloured Ultimate Pool branded cloth that you'll see on the Ultimate Pool events.
Manhattan teal.
Manhattan teal. There you go.
Yeah.
For that, anyone from the Hatters is out there watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that more of that will come over to Australia, Jay? That we'll start to use that here? I mean,
Look, it's hard to say. In an ideal world, 30 years ago, when we were starting the whole world championships, it would have been nice to have the Supreme tables here and our whole country using Supreme tables. But the realistic factor is that we don't, and we've got our own sort of style here, and it sort of is what it is. And I don't think we'll ever get to a point where we will be streamlined with the rest of the world. It's going to be an expensive.
I don't think it'll ever happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
If we did the pockets thing a couple of years ago, as you know, if it didn't kick off from that, then it's not going to kick off. I can't see it happening.
It's so expensive for all the pool halls to turn over all of their tables from 7-footers to Supremes and then to Rassons, and then if something else changes, then they should change their cloths all the time. Like cloths could change. Like tables do need to be reclothed.
Cloths are fine. Like I'm happy if they change the cloths. It's all good. But the tables, I think the 7-footers are here to stay. Australia are just, But I mean, the other tables are Rassons and the Supremes and all that stuff. I mean, we only use them when we go overseas, And I know some clubs in Queensland and a few other places do have clubs that have got, Supremes and other ones like that. But yeah, I can't see the world change. Like I go to houses every day doing what I do, and 1 in 20 houses got a pool table, and they're the 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot. Yeah, but it's not a Supreme 8 foot or a 9 foot or a Rasson 8 or 9. Like people like the look of an olden like style wood
like
finish,
a hardwood or
a billiards table kind of thing. You get a Supreme, like I had my Supreme here, and it played awesome. I had it for a couple of years. It played awesome. Still did when I sold it, but it looks it looks up to date, but it also looks cheap a little bit as well. So it's not. It suited the modern day house, but I think people still just like the old generation look, and I think that's what Australia's all about in a way. So,
Yeah.
I like playing the 7-footers anyway. Like, we adjusted to them, but the Supremes and all that. But I like the 7-footers, and I think international rules. I didn't think it would work on the 7-footers, but I think it's a brilliant rule set, and it's good on the 7-footer as well. And I know black ball. I know there's the black ball versus international rules. Like people argue all the time which one's better, but at the end of the day, I'm happy to play both, I guess, and whatever people like, we'll go with. So, but change is always good, but in small steps, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with all that, I guess. And I, I'd love to see some long-term consistency at the world level as well. Let's hope that they settle on if it's the wrestlers, that's great. Just, settle into there's some consistency.
That won't happen either, because it's whatever sponsor comes along, and it could change in 2 years from now. So who knows what's going to happen? They might go to 7-footers.
They might. Who knows?
The amount of I think, especially spending a bit of time with the team over there, the Ultimate Pool has spent a lot of time with these manufacturers to create a table which they've essentially designed. Same with the cloth as well. They've spent a lot of time. They just didn't bring out a cloth. They spent a lot of time.
I think they've improved it too.
Yeah,
they've gotten rid of that little line around the table, and
the beading.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good table. I'm getting one. I'll have one obviously when it comes up with World. So there's going to be 50 odd that are going to be around Australia, whether they're in homes or whether I'm pretty sure Townsville have got the Supremes. They're getting Rassens in there. Look, I think it's handy to have, because
how much different is it from a Supreme to a Rassen? Like, they play pretty similar.
I think they're probably a little bit more consistent, Mick. I know that you probably would have noticed playing at Pockets that while the Supremes are all cut the same, and sometimes the clips aren't clipped on tight enough, so you might have a little bit of a thudded rail.
Yeah.
These ones, the Rassens, the rails and the cushions are actually bolted onto the slate, and then the slate's clipped onto the shell. So
so it's improved.
Yes, they designed it a lot better.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, they've designed it a lot better, and I think the cloth really complements the table. That it does look big, but it's the conditions that make it look big. It's still a tough game to play. You still got to land on balls. You still got to pop balls. It definitely makes it more. It definitely makes it more watchable sometimes.
So I'm not sure if Marty's going to cover this or whatever, but I might jump the gun a little bit here. The Shane Thompson walkout at presentation night, there was some drama going on with maybe the Aussie boys in England, and what we saw with a few posts. I haven't really spoken to anyone yet that's travelled from over there to over here. We're all in the dark at the moment. We don't know what's happened. We know you're over there. Can you shed some light on maybe what happened, why some of the Aussie boys are a bit annoyed at certain things? Maybe give us a bit of insight and fill us in, or you're not sure yourself?
Well, I honestly, Mick, I wasn't part of the teams. I was.
Yeah,
my team was team was part of the officials and referees.
Yeah.
So if there was any time that I was spending with the teams, it's when I bump into them afterwards at the end of the day. I was fortunately right up the front, sitting on the tables with the rest of the officials when it happened tonight.
Busy.
Yeah, and when I saw one of the guys walking up with an Aussie shirt on, I'm like, what's going on here? And then he fell over, and I, obviously a bit of laughing going on in the room, and I honestly had no idea what was going on. So I was fully not aware of anything that was happening.
Guess we'll have to talk to one of the Aussie boys.
I better show it just for our viewers so that they know what's going on. This is Shane Thompson who shared this post on social media.
Dave, crack up.
I don't think we need to go any further on that. Obviously, like I can see a bit of commentary going on, bit of banter between the Aussie boys and the English boys, but no doubt, next year at the Worlds, there's a bit of fuel in the fire for the Aussie boys. People aren't going to forget that. That's okay. We love a bit of banter. We love it. The English boys are going to have a go at us, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and I'm sure the team next year will be saying, "Okay, let's fire up, boys. Let's go and get these English guys."
Yeah, maybe come down here.
Maybe come down here. That's right. All right. I'm going to start off with a few shout outs. I've had a bunch of people message us since it was 2 episodes ago. Last week, we put out the episode with Neil Robertson. So a bit of a different one for everyone. But a bunch of people have reached out just to say, thanks for doing this and with some comments. So thanks to all of you. Paddy Hood reached out already a year in advance saying, line me up to talk about the Slate Pro Series. I want to make sure that you get good coverage and that all the information's out there. So that's great. He's on top of it
Paddy.
all. Thanks, Paddy. Gavin Smith's reached out to say, well done. Tri Chan, Marcus Schubert up on the Gold Coast actually reached out with some messages and then jumped on a video call and had a chat to me for half an hour about what's going up there with he plays over at Snooker World there. Well done. Bobby Joe Quinn made a concerted effort to reach out on behalf of the ladies, talk about the VWSA, biggest women's league in the state.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to go and watch the ladies or even join in the league, their finals are on October 25 and 26 at Pockets Moorabbin down here. And all their kind of league info is on Poolstat. Thanks, Bobby Joe, for reaching out. That was great. And Chris Cherry from Tassie reached out to say g'day.
Chris.
Said to say g'day to you and Mark as well, Nick. So, yeah, nice to hear from you.
Thanks, Chris, everyone. In a while.
Yeah, well, he said to me, hey, Marty, we crossed paths in 2005 at Manager, and I was like, geez, a long way back. So, yeah, good to hear from him.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone.
We love it when people say g'day, so please reach out to me and Mick and Mark on the socials. Say g'day to Jay on the socials if you like. He's always out there. We love a bit of feedback and to say g'day to everyone and tell us about your league and where you are. 'Cause we like to learn a bit about what's going on around the country. All right, we are going to dive into everything that happened at the World Titles. We're going to go age group by age group and cover every event and get a bit of feedback from the guys here on what it was like on the ground. Windy from you and Scary. We'll know some of these players and what's going on. We'll just talk about it, I guess, and see how we go. I'm going to start with the over 60s. In the Masters, we're going straight in with the big one. The winner of the Masters in the over 60s was Australia's own Stacey Vine. Stacey, we love you, mate. Congratulations on you winning the Masters.
Good stuff, Stace.
He knocked off Alfie Powley.
Can play a safety game.
He can play a safety game. Weirdly, I think Stacey, he played in the over 50s in the teams event, but he's obviously over 60, so had a crack at the over 60s Masters and came away with the chocolates there. So well done.
Yeah, good stuff.
The guy he beat, Alfie Powley, actually came through with the goods in the doubles with his partner Nick Burton. They're an English team. They beat Paul Tierney and Derek Connolly. 2 Aussies, Peter Smith and Jack Deem, made the semis in that event as well. Well done, guys. In the singles, Russell Burgess beat Joe Connolly. And in the teams event, England B beat Northern Ireland A. And the Aussies didn't fare so well in the teams event, finished 12th out of 14 places. My take on all of that is I reckon Russell Burgess of Wales was probably the player of the carnival in the over 60s. He won the singles. He made the semis of the Masters. He's finished 5th in the stats. Great tournament, Russell. Yeah. Hopefully this finds its way to you.
Well, I was fortunate enough to referee that singles final, and he and a lot of people just said that no matter where he plays, whether he's playing at club level or how he played that, he just plays the same every single time. He doesn't seem flustered. He's just in his slow little motion, just going about it. And
I'd like to ask him how he does it, because I can't do that. I'd love to be able to play switched on all the time.
Yeah, he's just in his zone, and it's crazy. He just plays so well. So I was, fortunate enough to watch that singles final, and he's just, it was just elite. But yeah,
Stuff.
well done, Russ.
Well done. All right, let's jump down to the over 50s. So in the Masters in the over 50s, Noel O'Sullivan has beaten Dylan Leary. In the Scotch doubles, the Welsh team of Mike Quinn and Jason Dorset have beaten David Sweeney and Ray McGuinness. Tony Vojevic and Darren Munchenberg, the Aussies, made the last 16 there in the doubles. What a belter of a singles final. Eddie Barker has beaten Lee Kendall, two legends of the game, playing in the over 50s. Can you believe it? No surprise to see both of those names at the business end of a tournament. Adrian Lancaster from Australia has made the quarters in the singles, but obviously come across some big names there. In the teams, yeah.
So has Lee Kendall won a world title singles? I think he's come
That's
close.
a good quote. I think he's come close. He might have played in a final.
Yeah, because I know he was battling for one, obviously, years and years ago. I was watching him. Awesome player, and I did wish if he hadn't won one, I'm not sure, but it'd be nice to have seen him get one. But definitely an awesome player. I remember when I first went to England, we got there in the morning. We had our little breakfast in the room, in the big room where all the players go in before they start playing. And I sat down with, I think, Ricky Lee. I went down there with, and I looked over and I saw like Jason Twist, Lee Kendall, and there was one or two others that I used to watch sort of on the VCR tape. When I first started playing pool 21 years ago, I'd watch, like JR and all that, and the English boys, and I had all these VCR tapes, and I'd watch and I'd try and learn and all that. And then seeing these guys in real life, it was an unreal moment going over there, and then you get to play them. So, and Lee Kendall was always one that I liked watching. He was just always switched on and very, very knowledgeable. And if he hadn't won a world singles, which I don't think he has, he's probably one of the guys that possibly should have, I think,
Should have
deserved
won,
one anyway.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Lee Kendall. Lee, I believe, captained the men's team for England. He's played in the over 50s and runner-up in the singles. Lee's also one of the founders of Ultimate Pool, and no doubt had a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff to do over at the tournament there. He's just done amazing things for pool, not just in the UK, but globally. So thanks, Lee, for all your performance on and off the table. Like, amazing stuff to see, still doing great things. In the over 50s teams event, Nick, you've always got a soft spot for Malta. They've come away with the chocolates there against Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
The Aussies made the semi-final and lost in a thriller, 7-8.
Sure there was no controversy there?
I'm sure. No surprise to see the man who topped the stats in the over 50s teams event was Stacey Vine. It's won 75% of his frames. So for me, in the over 50s, Stacey was the player of the carnival. Also because he's won the over 60s Masters, but dominated on the stats in there. So Stacey, well done again to you. I think
he's got such a good all-round game. Stace is
so rock solid,
very very good.
Yeah,
75% such a huge percentage as well, considering that you only get 3 frames. You only get 3 frames, so winning two, and everyone in the team wins 2. You win the match, but that's more than that's a few threes in there as well. So it's
2 and a bit,
stats.
2 and a bit, 2 and a bit.
It's 3 out of every 4, right? So it's a massive event for him. So well done, Stacey. And good to see some Australian silverware coming home. So well done. Let's go to the under 18s. So these are the young kids, and some of these kids are actually, they say under 18s. I think there's some like 14 and 15-year-olds here running around. Wendy, did you see some of these kids? There's some talent there.
There's a couple of 16-year-olds that are there. So but I mean, the junior nationals at WA, they're just at a level which it's, and Mick and you probably would agree as well. They're scary to play because they just got no fear. They'll just take
Exactly.
they'll just take anything on, and when you draw them in a comp, you get a little bit of you know that you got the experience to beat them, but at the
I'm
end of the
hoping
day,
for clusters.
yeah, exactly. It just
That's
But
right.
even then, they'll just try something and something will come off, and they'll take a couple of frames off you, and they'll put you under the pump. And there's all of them, especially at Worlds, they all play the same. They just have no fear, and if anyone, I think the South African guys are just they're just there to just put on a show, and they play some good pool as well.
Well, that's a good call out, Windy, because my first result of the day in the U18s Masters was won by South African Cassiem Abrahams. It's beaten Rhys McLaughlin.
Well done.
Our best, well done, Cassiem. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. But yeah, good to see some South African talent coming through. Like we get a lot of the UK. Like it's very common to see UK, Malta, Australia do well in these events. But when some of the other countries come through, it's fantastic. So great to see some South African talent coming through. Best place Aussie there was Kieran Dempsey. That's Sean's younger brother. Made the last 16 in the Masters.
He's improving so much.
Improving, yeah. Good putter, Kieran, and he's just going to get better at the tactical side of the game as he plays more and more.
Just quickly, Jay, as an umpire, do you think the game? I mean, you've seen a lot of pool, I guess, over the years now. Do you think the players around the world, are getting better at the game, especially with the international rules now? The game is a little bit different compared to world rules, but do you think the level has gone up over the last 4 or 5 years with international rules? Just you're looking at the standard EDPL, DDPL stuff down in Australia, and you're looking at third division, seconds, first. But I feel like everyone has gotten a bit better because they've had to, in a way, playing these rules and one visit and stuff like that.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Mick. I think international rules, one visit, ball in hand, anywhere on the table, it can be an advantage, but it's also, when you've played two shot, it's almost a disadvantage as well. You feel like you're missing out on getting a reward for your opponent's errors. So I think what international rules has done is essentially progressed the game of what it's meant to be, and that's to pot balls and to be the first person to pot all your balls and pot the black, and not be the one to force your opponent into making a mistake and potting the black for you, or whatever it might be. Use the skill to, if you need to, use the skill to remove your opponent's balls off the table, which is quite, as you know, is quite the skill. But having only that one shot up your sleeve, you have to be more precise. You have to be more confident. Yeah, and I think the potting's a lot better now. I'm watching people comfortably take on shots over half length of the table, whereas back in World Rules days, they would be rolling balls down by the pockets,
waiting for two visits and then having a crack. Now it's do or die every single shot.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So I think the players these days have learned to take on the pressure of, if I miss, my opponent's getting back to the table. So they've worked a lot harder on potting rather than the tactical side of things, which I believe that's what our sport should be. It's about potting balls, and there's still tactics to it. You have to play good. You have to play good snookers, and and more times than not with this one visit, and you see it so many times. If you've made the decision that you're gonna go, and this is your time to go, and you make an error, and all of a sudden you've got one or two balls left on the table, you 9 times out of 10 you're not winning. You've basically just opened up the table for your opponent to finish.
I've thought of ways to try to get better at the moment. Like, I don't have a pool table at the moment. Any day now I'll be getting my new table off JR from All Star Pool Tables. And I thought, what can I do? I don't want to practice hours and hours a day, but maybe just 15 minutes here or there. What can I do? I'll just continue maybe doing my drills, but what can I add to that? And I thought maybe, and this only just happened today, maybe if I do miss a ball, and this is going to make me concentrate more, if I do miss a ball at any time, doing any drill or even just hitting balls around the table, which I don't do, the moment I miss, I have to set up that exact shot and clear it 5 times before I can actually continue. So that's going to be my rule from now on, and this should hopefully make me a better player, I guess, and possibly concentrate for longer and not maybe hit balls around or play a silly shot. So just like you were talking about that guy before about playing, whether he's playing someone in a comp or whether he's practicing, he's always just focused. That's more what I want. And, I've got to think, because I've been playing the game a while now, I've got to think of sort of new ways to sort of keep, I don't know.
Keep finding an edge.
Find an edge, but also want to be able to go and put 15 minutes or 20 minutes on the table.
It's the desire. It's the desire, I think it is.
Yeah. So I'll give that a go and I'll try and make it a rule and see how we go.
That for me, Mick, is one of the reasons I like having a coach. It's not necessarily because I need someone to tell me how to do a drill. It's just to hold me accountable. It's accountability.
Yeah, just like the gym thing. We got, if you go in a gym, you have a group of 2 or 3 people and you're in a group, and then you can, as soon as you send each other photos, you're like, oh, I should get down to the gym or I should go do something. And I've got a little gym set up in, just a few weights in the garage, but it's very hard to open that garage door and walk in there and start working out,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but if you got friends doing it, then it helps. Anyway, sorry about that, Marty.
No, that's okay. No, we love a little sidebar. Where was it? Under 18. So in the Scotch
18s.
doubles, under 18s, in the Scotch doubles, Jaden Billingham and Oliver Goddard from England, they're a couple of young talents, beat Ryle James and Jack Beds from New Zealand. Good to see there's some New Zealand boys make the...
Refereed that one. That was a good match.
Did you? Yeah, great. From Australia, Jackson Agali and Kieran Dempsey made the semi. We're just going to kick on with the next one, and then I'll come back to one of these guys. So in the singles, Jaden Billingham also won, beating Cassiem Abrahams of South Africa. So those guys, pushing the business end of all the tournaments. Jaden Billingham, I believe I've seen him on the Ultimate Pool are doing this thing where they're bringing some juniors in now.
He's on the pro circuit, is Jaden.
And I think he's one of the guys that I've seen in there, right? Great young talent. And just exemplifies that idea of no fear, just going for everything.
Yep. And he's got I think he's got about 35 or 37,000 pound money match coming up, as well. So he's and
hopefully no beer bottles thrown on at the end.
Hopefully,
no, it's all caged now.
Yeah, So some great young talent. And in the teams event again, the Maltese boys got up and Malta beat South Africa. Wow, yeah, that's great. Bodes well for the future of the young talent for Malta and South Africa. Hopefully, we'll see some of these guys coming through in the main draw. And the Australia B team in the teams finished 8th, and our top performer there was Jackson Agali, finished 2nd in the States. Now, this is the only category where I had a tough time trying to pick out who I thought the player of the carnival was for that category. So there's 2. I'm going to give it to Jaden Billingham. He's won the singles. He's made the semi in the Masters. He's won the doubles and he's finished 5th in the stats. And I think he's just edged out that South African kid, Cassiem Abrahams, who's won the Masters, come 2nd in the singles, made the semi of the doubles and finished 6th in the States. 2 massive performances for those 2 guys in the under 18s. Tough crowd. And I think Jackson Agali was probably our best performed Aussie over there. He's finished 2nd in the stats. He's made the semi-final of the doubles. So well done, Jackson, on your performance there. Good stuff, mate.
Good Jackson.
The under 23s. Now, there's a bit of interest here for the Aussies. I'll start with the Masters. So Sean Walsh of Ireland has beaten Australia's Sean Dempsey, in the Masters. Then in the Scotch doubles, Alex Cameron and Adam Stevens of England has beaten Jack Green and Sean Dempsey of Australia. Then in the singles, it's the same result as the Masters. Sean Walsh of Ireland has beaten Sean Dempsey. And in the teams event, England A has beaten Australia B, which included Sean Dempsey. So
what do we do here? Next year, we get rid of Sean Dempsey.
Sean Dempsey has 24 yet? And come runner-up in every event that he's entered.
Joking. Good effort. Keep knocking on doors. Eventually one will open.
knocking on
Without
doors. Yeah,
Sean.
he's finished 9th in the stats. I think we talked about this last week, but I forget if we kept it on the in the final edit or not. But I was talking about Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus is a golfer who's won the most majors ever. He's also come second in the most majors ever. Like, if you want to win it, you got to keep turning up. So, Sean, keep turning up, mate. You're doing a bloody fantastic job. We're really proud of your efforts over there.
Yeah.
Well done. Clearly the best performed Aussie in the under-23s, but was pipped by his arch nemesis as player of the carnival in the under-23s, in my opinion, Sean Walsh, who's won the singles, won the Masters, made the semi-final in the doubles, and come second in the stats. So the two Seans absolutely dominating.
Sean Walsh, beautiful cues, really nice cues.
Yeah, I watched some of both of those finals, and actually in the singles final, Sean Dempsey went on was being dominated, I think, and made a big comeback, won 4 or 5 frames in a row to actually make it an interesting scoreline. So, well done to do
Did
that.
beat
under
Shaw.
pressure.
Did beat Shane Thompson as well in the singles. Sean.
That's
Cole,
right.
And Cole Bedford
Knocked off a few good ones.
Cole
yeah,
Bedford
knocked off. This is in the men's singles event. He's knocked off 2 Ultimate Pool professionals back to back.
And Shane came back at him too towards the end.
Yeah, and then I think got yet another Ultimate Pool professional and lost to them in a third match, but had some big names. We're probably one of the toughest draws for that kind of stage of the event that anyone had and knocked them both off. So yeah, very well performed. Had a massive tournament, Sean Dempsey. So well done again.
So,
all right, let's get to the business end. The ladies, in the Masters event, Tasneem Solomons has beaten Chucky Preston. Am I right saying Tasneem was this last year's singles winner?
She was a world champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was the defending world champion.
Yep.
So yeah, she's come through again with a win in the Masters. Well done. Our best placed Aussie there was Lyndall Vine. No surprise to see her name there. She made the quarters in the Masters.
Yeah.
Well done, Lyndall. In the Scotch doubles, Ashleen Dinsmore and Royson Smith, hope I'm saying your name right there, ladies, of Northern Ireland, beat Sophie Gibbs-Nichols and Leanne Cragg of England. And again, in the quarters, the Victorian girls, Lyndall Element and Colby Poole, have both made the quarters in the Scotch doubles. Well done.
Yeah.
Now, we actually did get some silverware from the ladies. They have won the team shootout. So congratulations to the Aussie ladies. What a great event. Jay, I'm going to get the timing wrong. Can you briefly tell us the structure of a shootout match? Like how long is it? What is it? Do you know?
I think during the group stage, well, I say group stages, during the qualifying stages, it's a 40-minute match clock that with a 30-second shot clock. And then when it gets to 10 minutes remaining, that shot clock reduces down to 15 seconds. So it's a bit of a rapid match. The match clock stops at the conclusion of a frame. In the qualifying stages, I don't think it does in the final. I could be wrong, but the finals extends out to 50 minutes.
And is it a race or is it just who's in front at the end?
It's a best of, but it can be a draw, so it can be a 6-red shootout. So if there is a draw at the end of it, the player who's next up to play and a selected person are your 2 people in the shootout. So you'll have 2. So you'll have 2 nominated people, and if one of those nominated people is currently playing, your other nominated person will be your person playing in the 6-red.
Right. And it is the only event in the whole tournament where golden breaks and golden ducks are in play.
Correct.
So for anyone who doesn't know that a golden break is
brutal.
Potting the black ball off the break is a win in the shootout, and potting the black and fouling on the break is a loss in the shootout. I don't know if it happened in the ladies, but it certainly happened multiple times in the men's. I know Cole Bedford knocked in 2 golden breaks for England. And I think
Wales.
I think when the Aussies lost in the men's, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I think they had at least 1 golden break against them and maybe even 2 in in the one that they lost, but certainly won. Anyway, congratulations to the Australian ladies for coming
well done,
home with
girls.
the team shootout. Silver, well done. Good to see that coming home.
Good photos in there too.
Yeah,
them
rippers.
holding the trophy and all that stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Rippers, that was really good. In the ladies' singles, no surprises here. Emma Cunningham has come away as the winner. Very familiar face to see at the business end of ladies' pool events around the world.
Fourth, I think, is it? Fourth world titles?
She's won a few, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how many, but I know she's won a few. Beat another outstanding female player in Colette Henriksen. So well done to you, Emma. Lyndall Vine was our best Australian player, made the quarters of the singles there. And finally, in the teams event, the Northern Ireland ladies have come away with the win against France. So congratulations to you.
Entertaining
Northern Ireland
final
ladies.
as well. Very entertaining final.
Australia got beat in a playoff. They finished 5th and lost their first final, so got knocked out. At that stage, my pick for player of the carnival for the ladies was Emma Cunningham. She's won the singles. She's made the semis of the doubles. She's finished on top of the stats. Clearly an outstanding player. Well done to you.
Don't see much better.
Yeah, you don't see much better. So, yes, very, very good player. And
Yep. Just before you keep going, Marty, just so everyone understands, it's a little bit different to how we run our nationals when it comes to finals at Worlds. So they actually take a top 6. So when you said they lost the playoff,
that's right.
At Worlds they take a top 6. So if you finish top 2, you go straight through to the semi-finals, and the third through to 6th play in a playoff. And
I found it a bit strange that the men's Australia had to play England. Like straight up, it was, they finished first, and then I don't know the way it sort of worked out. Thought it could be done a little bit differently, but
so the playoff happens, but then once you've passed your playoff, if you've won the playoff, it essentially goes into a draw, and you draw out who you're playing in the semi-final.
I see, it's random. So the final 4 is random, but the top 2 are automatically in the final 4, and then is it 3v6 and 4v5? Is that what happens?
I think so. I can't be sure, but I'm pretty certain that I'm pretty sure the draw is done, and it'll be Australia is playing the winner of that match.
Right, and that's what happened. Yeah.
Yep. I'm pretty certain.
My pick of the best Aussies for the ladies event was Lyndall Vine. She's made the quarters of the Masters, the quarters of the singles. But I also want to call out that I think Colby Poole was close for a pick of the best Aussie. She's finished 11th in the stats. Lyndall's done a bit worse in the stats, but a bit better results in the singles and the Masters. But Colby's had a very good tournament.
Colby
so
and Lyndall, Colby and Lyndall are always the ones that are most of the
backbone
time.
of that team. Yeah, exactly.
All right, and
finally, let's get to the men's events. So in the Masters, we had Gary Clark beat Sean Storey. I don't know if you managed to catch any of these, Windy, but that'd be interesting if you got to see some of these. I presume there's a bit more atmosphere there. These are kind of I say men's event, but it's almost like an open event. These are the best players in the world playing the best pool that you get to see while you're there, right? So they attract a bit of a bit more viewers. The Scotch doubles was won by Tom Cousins and Ross Dunn. Tom, kind of widely considered the best player in the world right now, dominating the ultimate pool circuit. And they have knocked off Stevie Dempsey and Carl O'Donoghue from Ireland. The Aussie boys, the Foster brothers, Luke and Ben, have made the semis in the Scotch double. So well done to you boys. That's a good run
boys.
To get through to there. In the men's shootout, Malta has got up against Wales. So well done to the Maltese team again. The Aussie boys got done in the quarters, and again, I believe there was a golden break against them. So it's tough. It's tough when you're playing such great talent, and that to lose one frame from a golden break or a golden dark. That makes it so tough in those events.
Brutal.
Yeah, pretty brutal.
The opening frame of the whole shootout for Australia, Cale Barrett, golden break, first break
Golden
of the
break, yeah.
match. Yeah.
It looked like
Yeah.
I didn't even realise you did it too
Yeah.
for the first few seconds.
That's right. Cole Bedford knew when he got him in, he was fist bumping and
He's
he
not
knew
one
what
to
was
not
going on.
celebrate, that's for sure.
Correct. Yeah, great to watch, Cole Bedford. In one of the biggest events, there's the men's singles. Giuseppe D'Imperio has beaten Declan Brennan
Yeah, that's
in a
a
very
big
good
win.
final. I think Declan was probably a big favourite going to that match. That'd be my take. I said
was-
just a
it was
Giuseppe
moment,
ahead.
made the set. Was it the final or semis last year as well?
Declan or Giuseppe.
No, Giuseppe.
I think he might have. Yeah, he's had a deep run. He's certainly well
Yeah.
performed in the past.
And he looked very switched on this time as well. And he looked like he was there for business, from what I saw
Yeah.
anyway. So
And he was behind.
Yeah.
Declan was pretty far ahead to begin with. So
Yeah.
in the first session, I think he was 5-1 up in the first session, I think, or maybe 5-2.
Yeah.
And then he swung it around and ended up winning. So
that's Paul.
Yes.
it's a big win.
Like I said just a moment ago, Tom Cousins is considered the number one player in the world. Declan is considered probably number two. Like Tom is dominating Ultimate Pool. He's clearly ranked number one. Declan's the only guy that's close enough to be challenging him for that spot. There's kind of daylight back to third. So Declan's having a really good run in there. So I thought, he's had a lot of experience on those tables on that cloth, which for me is why I thought he was favourite going to the match. So congratulations to Giuseppe. That's a great win to come from behind win against one of the best players in the world.
Well
No
done.
one can ever take that away from you. You're a world champion, mate. So well done.
Absolutely.
And Ben Foster was the best performed Aussie there. He's made the last 16. So well done to you, Ben. You've had a good tournament.
Yeah, well done, Ben.
And finally, in the big dance, the men's teams event, England has come away with the win against Malta. So congratulations to the England team. They've been so dominant for so long. The English boys.
It happens when it's in their backyard.
It's in there. Well, they're in Ireland this time,
Yeah.
rather than Blackpool. But
You can still drive it.
I'm surprised they didn't pull out. They had to travel more than 10 minutes.
Not far from home, but still, a little bit up the road. Player of the carnival for me in the men's, I've picked out Giuseppe. He's won the singles. He's made the quarterfinals in the Masters, and he's finished 6th in the stats. Just a cracking tournament overall. And he's coming home with some bloody great silverware. So good on you, mate. And I've called out. This was actually a tough pick, but for the best performed Aussie in the men's event, I've decided to go with Ben Foster. He's made the semis of the doubles. He's made the last 16 of the singles, and he's finished 3rd in the stats overall. Great tournament. Special mention for Rob Bowen, who's finished 2nd in the stats overall. Also a great tournament from you, Rob.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, well done, Rob.
So both of those guys are in the world team that they pick out, which is made up of the top 7, I think, in the stats.
They travel
plus
to
Zoom
Mars
size.
in about 3 months from now.
Elon's warming up the rocket for you boys.
Yeah. No, it's a good effort by Rob. I've obviously spent a lot of time with him over the last year or two, and his head's always been up and down. He's trying to improve, and then things would happen, and then he'd get results, and then things would happen, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster for him. So he's kept it together. He's kept it together, and he's gone over there and actually performed
Done
very well.
Yeah.
So
it was his first world titles, yeah?
First world titles. First Australian team, first world titles, and he's finished 2nd. Sorry, second in the stats overall.
Second in the stats. The match finished level with wins with Tom Cousins, and we walked over and we're watching Tom Cousins' last frame.
He just needs to perform now, and he just needs to perform now on a Tuesday night for finals for his team. So.
Windy, Rob is my captain on a Tuesday night, so we will be seeing Scary in the finals very shortly. We finished top of the table, but no doubt we're going to come across Scary and his team.
We're going to get through Manhattan first next week, so got a bit Hammer and Dakota and all that. Lockie, that'll be tough.
One thing that impressed me, because I see him every week, Rob, the effort he put into his preparation for this tournament was second to none. He planned and worked hard across a whole bunch of aspects of games. I know he came and had a hit with you, Scary, and he went and had a hit with Robbo, and he's searched out ways to challenge himself and improve his game and prepare for what was confronting him over when he went to the Worlds, and it's clearly paid off. So congratulations, mate. Like
two or
you earned it.
2 or 3 times a week, you'd see the Rob Bowen Money Match Facebook page going off looking for a match. So you've got to put yourself in that situation constantly and that sort of pressure to get the reward, and he's obviously done that. So good on you, Rob Dog. Proud of you, mate. Good stuff.
Yep. And that's the end of our World Championships roundout. Now, we like to finish these things, Windy, with a shot of the day, and I've got one lined up for you. I don't know if you've seen this one. I've tried to pick out one. It's a bit different. Where are we? Here we go. So here we go. This is from what's her name? You said this is one of the ladies playing a game. Have a look at this one.
I think the only problem with this is they do tend to straighten up.
Right, 1 rail, 2 rails. Has she
That's
got
a
it?
great shot.
I'm fat on as well. I'll stop it.
She hit it perfectly, like on the thin side to actually pass that yellow.
Wow.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we were talking about this rule set earlier, Mick. In world rules, you're running the black down towards that ball there. You're not taking it on. But these rules, you're forced to have a go, and more times than not, people are potting balls now. More times you're leaving people a 1-rail kick shot to get out of safeties, and they're potting them. But
it's now making you think too, not to pull the trigger too early and just start potting balls, which a lot of people do. And I think they're starting to learn now to actually pull back a little bit. And it is all about the white ball. This rule set. I think world rules was all about the object balls, and now I've always said it. International rules, it's all about the white ball. You can get. It doesn't matter if the ball's near rails and stuff like that. If you can get a good white and make your opponent sort of have to play hard shots all the time, you're going to get back to the table more often than not. So you only got one visit, and it's and that ball in hand is very powerful if you know what to do with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's 3 things I loved about that shot. One is like the length of the table triple. Obviously, there's some skill in that, so fair play to her. She's played for that shot. The length of the table too. Got a little bit of luck to get it so skinny so that it slid back past the yellow when she was going to be on the black. But then that moment where she paused, took the deep breath, settled herself and knocked the black in. Like, it's no good making the shot if you can't follow it up with the black. So, it just had a little bit of everything. So it was a fantastic moment from the women's event. And
I didn't think I thought you were going to stitch me up there, and that triple wasn't the shot. It was the rattle of the black going into a different pocket.
Yeah.
no, that's why I hung on to the black wing. So it was Sabria Brunet, a French lady,
Brunet, yeah,
who's I think been at the business end of some of those big tournaments in the past for ladies. So yeah, fantastic visit. That's it from me. Scary, Windy. Any last comments from either of you?
No, I'm all good. Good stuff on putting all that together too, Marty. That would have taken a while.
Do you know what? I thought it was going to take me half an hour, but it took me a couple
3
of
hours
to get it. It took me a couple of hours to get it all done. But it's nice to have that recap in the bag. We have during the week, just to let everyone know, we kind of dropped some hints that we're going to have some big names. We've got another big name coming out in an episode following this one, so stay tuned to watch that. But
sorry to let you guys down this week.
Fantastic to have you on, Windy. Like, you're a big name in Australian pool, important man around town, and nice to get your perspective on having the boots over the ground on the ground over in Ireland to see what that was like.
Actually, one question.
Go for it.
If because you watch a lot of pool, Windy, and you obviously ref it, does it ever give you the bug to actually go, I actually want to be out there, or are you happy being on the outside looking in?
I would always prefer to be playing. Absolutely prefer to be playing, but I think we just need someone in that role, and I found myself in it, and I'm happy to pursue it to hopefully get the success which everyone needs and wants. And
so I remember playing Q Sports when I first started playing.
20 odd years ago, 24 years
21,
ago.
22 years ago. Did I Did I play you in the final of the
Yep,
Yellow
on the
League?
9-footers. On the 9-footers.
Yeah, so it was my brother's first year and my first year playing league at Q Sports, and I ended up winning the doubles with my brother. We were called the Wogs or something
the
like that.
boys. The Wog boys.
Wog boys or whatever, yeah. And I won the singles of the Yellow League. And you know what? Like I've got a bunch of trophies over the years, and I've thrown out 90% of them, and I've kept maybe 12 trophies or whatever that's really meant something over the years. But I've kept that as well. Can I bring it here? I've got it in the garage.
Yeah,
Give me a second.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. It's
Well,
funny.
do you know-
It's funny you should
do you
say
know-
that, because that night when he beat me in the singles, he actually said that night that he's going to play for Australia one day.
That does not surprise me
playing.
about Mick Scary. Like
They
he's
were
the
his
kind of
words.
guy. He puts his mind to something and he does it. Yeah. Do you know we've had people look at
Oh,
it's a
my
yellow
God,
trophy.
my God, I remember those. I've thrown away a lot of those. How
So
good.
I'll read out what it says. It says Q Sports Premier Pool Leagues, Wednesday Yellow League teams, 8-ball champion, 2003. Our Wogs.
The Wogs.
So yeah, we won the singles and the doubles. It was actually pretty awesome at Q Sports. So I just remembered that, actually just thinking of Windy just then. So
Wendy, our viewers all believe that Scary just keeps his trophies right next to the camera. So he pretended to go to the garage, but actually he just went off screen. Just
well, now
picked
that
up
you
the trophy.
mention it,
Wait. Ta-da!
no.
Have I shown you this trophy? There you go. A little bit of a blast from the past. Who knew? Thank you, gentlemen.
All good.
It was
Thank you.
Lovely to have you both here, and we'll see you next time, folks.